Wait. So you woke up at 7, you brushed your teeth, you ate breakfast, but did you actually do anything exciting? Because if someone asks you, how was your day, and you just say, good, that's boring. Max, tell them, what's the secret to talking about your day in English without sounding like a robot?
Okay, you're absolutely right. Most beginners learn the words, but they don't learn how to make their day sound interesting. Today, we're going to change that. We'll teach you how to talk about your day like a real English speaker, with personality, with stories, and yes, with some fun. Stay with us. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to our videos. You're listening to Mr. Englishman. I'm Max, and with me here is the always amazing Lily.
Hello. And today is going to be a really useful episode because we're talking about something you do every single day. Talking about your day. Whether you're chatting with friends, texting someone, or just practicing English in your head, you need to know how to describe your daily routine naturally.
Exactly. And here's the thing. This isn't just vocabulary. We're going to teach you how to sound more natural, more confident, and way more interesting when you talk about what you did today. By the end of this episode, you'll have real phrases, real examples, and a simple formula you can use every single day.
So grab your notebook, get comfortable, and let's dive in.
All right, let's start with the basics. When someone asks you, "How was your day?" or "What did you do today?" what do most beginners say?
Um, Good. Or maybe I went to work.
Exactly. And that's not wrong, but it's so short. It's like eating one piece of chocolate when you could have the whole bar. We want to give you the whole bar.
Ooh, I like that metaphor. So let's talk about the most common way to describe your day. You use the past simple tense. That's because you're talking about things that already happened, right?
Right. So the formula is super simple. Subject plus past tense verb plus details. For example, I woke up at 7. I ate breakfast. I went to work. Easy, right?
Yeah, but let's make it even easier. Let's go through a typical day together, step by step. Max, tell me, what did you do this morning?
Okay, this morning I woke up at 6:30. Then I made coffee. After that, I checked my phone for a few minutes. Emails, messages, the usual. Then I took a shower, got dressed, and had breakfast.
Perfect. Did you hear that, everyone? Max used really simple past tense verbs. Woke up, made, checked, took, got dressed, and had. These are super common, and you probably already know them. But let's practice saying them out loud.
Yeah, repetition is key. So, listeners, repeat after me. I woke up. Go ahead, say it. I made coffee. I checked my phone. I took a shower. I had breakfast.
Awesome. Now you've got the basics. But here's the secret. To sound more natural, you need to add little details. Don't just say, I had breakfast. Say, I had toast and eggs for breakfast. Or, I had a quick breakfast because I was late.
Yes, details make your English come alive. Let me give you another example. Instead of saying, I went to work, you could say, I went to work by bus. Or, I drove to work and there was a lot of traffic.
Ooh, or I walked to work because it was a beautiful day.
Exactly. See how much more interesting that sounds? You're painting a picture with your words. And that's what native speakers do.
Okay, so let's practice with a full morning routine. I'll describe my morning and you listen for the details. Ready?
Ready.
Okay, this morning I woke up at 7. I felt really tired, so I stayed in bed for 10 more minutes. Then I finally got up, brushed my teeth, and washed my face. I made a smoothie for breakfast, bananas, strawberries, and yogurt. It was delicious. After that, I got dressed and put on some makeup. Then I grabbed my bag and left for work at 8:15.
Nice. So Lily woke up, stayed in bed, got up, brushed her teeth, washed her face, made a smoothie, got dressed, put on makeup, grabbed her bag, and left at 8:15. That's a lot of verbs. And notice, she added details again. She said the meeting was long, she told us what she ate, and she mentioned going to a cafe with a coworker. That makes it feel like a real story.
Exactly. So now it's your turn. Think about your morning today. What did you do? Try describing it in your head, or even better, say it out loud. Use simple past tense and add one or two details.
And don't worry if you make mistakes. The important thing is to practice. Mistakes are how we learn.
Okay, wait. Before we move on, I have to tell you something. There's one mistake that almost every beginner makes when talking about their day. Max, do you know what it is?
Oh, I think I do. Is it mixing up wake up and get up?
Yes, that's exactly it. A lot of learners say, I got up at 7 when they mean I woke up at 7, or they use them interchangeably, but they're actually a little bit different.
Right. So let's clear this up. Wake up means the moment you open your eyes and stop sleeping. Get up means the moment you actually leave your bed. So you can wake up at 7, but get up at 7:15.
Exactly. For example, I woke up at 6, but I didn't get up until 6:30 because I was so tired.
Perfect example. So remember, wake up equals eyes open. Get up equals leave the bed. Got it?
Good. Okay, now let's talk about the middle of the day. Work, school, errands, all that fun stuff.
All right, so mornings are done. Now let's talk about what happens during the day. This is usually when you're working, studying, or doing errands. And this is where you can really add personality to your story.
Yeah, because let's be honest, most people's days are pretty similar. You go to work, you have lunch, you do some tasks. But the way you describe it can make it sound boring or interesting.
Exactly. So let's practice. Lily, what did you do at work today?
Okay, so today I went to work at 9. I had a meeting with my team in the morning. It was pretty long, about 2 hours. After the meeting, I worked on some reports and sent a few emails. Then at 1 o'clock, I had lunch with my coworker. We went to a little cafe near the office. I had a chicken salad and it was really good.
Nice. So Lily went to work, had a meeting, worked on reports, sent emails, and had lunch. But notice she added details again. She said the meeting was long, she told us what she ate, and she mentioned going to a cafe with a coworker. That makes it feel like a real story.
Right. And here's a tip. When you're talking about your day, use time phrases to connect your sentences. For example, first I did this, then I did that. After that I did this, finally I did that. It makes your story flow better.
Great point. Let me give you some useful time phrases. Repeat after me. First, then, after that, later, finally.
Perfect. Now let's use them in a full story. Max, describe your workday using those time phrases.
Okay, so today, first I checked my emails. Then I had a video call with a client. After that, I worked on a project for a few hours. Later, I took a short break and had some tea. Finally, I finished my work and left at 5:30.
Excellent. Did you hear how smooth that sounded? The time phrases made it really easy to follow. So when you're describing your day, use these phrases. They're like little bridges between your sentences.
And here's another thing. Don't be afraid to talk about small, normal things. You don't need to have an exciting life to talk about your day in English. Even saying, I made lunch or I texted my friend is great practice.
Totally. In fact, let's practice some everyday activities right now. I'll say a sentence and you repeat it. Ready? I cooked dinner. I cleaned my room. I watched a video. I called my mom. I studied English.
Great job. Now, here's a quick challenge. Think about 3 things you did today. Try to say them out loud using the past tense. For example, I drank coffee. I walked to the store. I listened to a podcast. Go ahead, try it.
How did it go? Even if you made a mistake, that's okay. The more you practice, the easier it gets.
All right, now let's talk about the evening and night. This is when most people relax, spend time with family, or do hobbies. And it's also a great time to practice describing your day in English.
Yeah. So, Max, what did you do last night?
Last night, I got home from work at around 6. I was pretty tired, so I sat on the couch for a bit and watched some TV. Then I cooked dinner. I made pasta with tomato sauce. After dinner, I washed the dishes, and then I read a book for about 30 minutes. Finally, I went to bed at 11.
Perfect. So Max got home, sat on the couch, watched TV, cooked dinner, made pasta, washed the dishes, read a book, and went to bed at 11. That's a full evening routine.
Yep, and again, I added little details. I said what I cooked, what I watched, and when I went to bed. Those details make the story more interesting and natural.
Absolutely. Now let's learn some common evening activities. These are verbs and phrases you'll use all the time. Repeat after me. I got home. I relaxed. I cooked dinner. I watched TV. I went to bed.
Awesome. Now, one important thing. When you talk about your evening, you can also talk about how you felt. For example, I was tired. I felt happy. I was stressed. I felt relaxed. Adding emotions makes your English sound more natural.
Yes. Let me show you. Instead of just saying, I watched TV, you could say, I was really tired, so I just relaxed and watched TV for a while.
Or instead of I cooked dinner, you could say, I felt like cooking, so I made a big, delicious meal.
See? It's all about adding those little extra words that show how you felt. It makes your story come alive.
Okay, so now let's put everything together. I'm going to describe my entire day, from morning to night. Listen carefully and notice how I use time phrases, details, and emotions. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. Yesterday, I woke up at 7. I felt great because I slept really well. First, I made coffee and had toast for breakfast. Then I got dressed and left for work at 8:30. At work, I had a busy day. First, I answered a lot of emails. Then I had a meeting with my boss. After that, I worked on a presentation for a few hours. At lunchtime, I went to a sandwich shop and got a chicken sandwich. It was delicious. Later in the afternoon, I finished my presentation and sent it to my team. Finally, I left work at 5. When I got home, I felt tired, so I just relaxed on the couch and watched a movie. Then I made dinner, spaghetti with meatballs. After dinner, I called my friend and we talked for about 20 minutes. Finally, I read a book for a bit and went to bed at 11.
Wow, that was perfect, Max. You used time phrases like first, then, after that, and finally. You added details like what you ate and what you watched, and you included emotions like I felt great and I felt tired. That's exactly how native speakers talk about their day.
Thanks, Lily. And that's the goal, everyone. You don't need to use fancy vocabulary or complicated grammar. You just need to practice describing your day with simple words, clear details, and a little bit of emotion.
Exactly. Now it's your turn again. Think about yesterday. What did you do in the evening? Try to describe it using the past tense and adding at least one detail or emotion. Go ahead.
Great! Keep practicing that every day. The more you do it, the more natural it will feel.
Okay, now let's do something fun. We're going to do a mini role play. Imagine you're at a cafe with a friend and they ask you, hey, how was your day? You need to answer and talk about your day. Max, you be the friend and I'll answer first, okay?
Sounds good. All right, Lily. Hey, how was your day?
Oh, it was pretty good. This morning, I woke up early and went for a run. It was so nice outside. Then I came home, took a shower, and had a healthy breakfast. After that, I went to work. I had a really interesting meeting in the afternoon, and I learned a lot. Then I came straight here to meet you.
Nice. That sounds like a productive day.
Yeah, it was. Okay, now listeners, it's your turn. Imagine I'm your friend and I just asked you, how was your day? What would you say? Think about it for a second and then try saying it out loud. Use the past tense, add some details, and maybe include how you felt. Go ahead.
How did that feel? Did you use time phrases? Did you add any details? Even if it felt awkward, that's totally normal. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
And here's a bonus tip. You can practice this every single day. At the end of the day, just think about what you did and try describing it in English. You don't even need to talk to anyone. Just practice in your head or record yourself on your phone.
That's a great idea. In fact, that's how I practiced when I was learning English. Every night, I would think about my day and describe it in English. It really helped me get better at speaking naturally.
See, it works. So make it a habit. Every day, just take 2 minutes and talk about your day in English.
All right, we've covered a lot today, so let's do a quick recap. Here are the key points you need to remember.
First, use the past simple tense to talk about your day. Subject plus past verb plus details. For example, I woke up at 7.
Second, add details to make your story more interesting. Don't just say, I ate lunch. Say, I ate a chicken sandwich for lunch at a nice cafe.
Third, use time phrases to connect your sentences. Words like first, then, after that, later, and finally make your story flow smoothly.
Fourth, include emotions and feelings. Say things like, I felt tired, or I was happy, or I was really stressed. This makes your English sound natural and human.
And fifth, practice every day. At the end of each day, just take a few minutes to describe what you did in English. It's the best way to improve.
Exactly. And remember, you don't need to have an exciting life to talk about your day in English. Even simple things like I made coffee or I watched TV are great practice.
So true. Okay, let's do one final practice. I'll ask you some questions and you try to answer them in your head. Ready?
Question 1. What time did you wake up today?
Question 2. What did you have for breakfast?
Question 3. What did you do in the afternoon?
Question 4. How did you feel today?
And question 5. What did you do before listening to this podcast?
Great job. If you were able to answer even one or two of those questions in English, you're doing awesome.
Oh, and before we finish, stick around for just one more minute. We've got a bonus tip at the end that will help you sound even more natural when talking about your day. Don't leave yet.
All right, everyone, we're almost at the end, but we're so proud of you for making it this far. Learning a new language takes time, effort, and a lot of practice, but you're doing it. Every time you listen to this podcast, every time you practice speaking, you're getting better.
Absolutely. And remember, making mistakes is part of the process. Don't be afraid to talk about your day, even if you mess up a verb or forget a word. The important thing is that you're trying. That's what matters.
Yes, and here's that bonus tip we promised. When you're talking about your day, don't be afraid to ask questions too. For example, if you're chatting with someone and you say, I went to a new restaurant, you can follow it up with, have you ever been there? Or do you like Italian food? This keeps the conversation going and makes you sound even more natural.
That's such a good tip, Lily. Conversations aren't just about talking. They're about connecting. So ask questions, show interest, and keep the conversation alive.
Exactly. So here's what we want you to do after this episode. First, practice describing your day in English. Just 2 or 3 sentences is enough. Second, try using at least one time phrase like first, then, or after that. And third, add one emotion or detail to make it interesting.
And if you want to take it a step further, leave a comment and tell us about your day. What did you do today? We'd love to hear from you. And it's great practice for writing in English, too.
Yes, please do that. We read all the comments and we love seeing your progress.
All right, before we go, next time we're going to teach you how to talk about your plans for the future. How to say things like, I'm going to, and I'm planning to. It's super useful and you're gonna love it.
Ooh, I'm excited for that one. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for listening. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, you've got this.
See you next time on Mr. Englishman.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.